Okay, again, this is Arun. What we are trying to do here is to introduce new runners or what I would call like instead of bringing celebrities or she's a celebrity to me, so that's not that's not the way that I want to say. But we are trying to bring normal runners who make a change to their communities. This is Becky. She went to training with me, and I was very impressed by her resume. She has influenced so many people in coming into running, and we want to bring the joy of running to others. So she is qualified for Boston the past 2 years. She used to be a runner before, and then she stopped running for 15 years, and then she got back into running. Those are all the toughest things to do when you have to get back into shape again. When you're in shape, maintaining your health is a lot easier than I think going back into running and getting back into shape. So I invited her. She's coming from Winchester, Virginia. Can you give a round of applause for her? Thanks for coming all the way from there and coming and talking to us and inspiring us. I'd like you to say a few words.
Sure. Well, he said it all already, so I don't think I really have anything to say. Actually, on the way here, what I wanted to tell all of you was I'm not a professional speaker. What I like to do is I am just like all of you. 3.5 years ago, I was 70 pounds heavier, and I was doing a program just like you are today. I started with a walk-run program. And as Arun said, I started around her age, the youngest here. I was around 11, and then I ran all the way through college, University of Maryland, go Terps, if there's any Terps here. And after college, I didn't have a team anymore, so I kind of lost that identity of myself and became a wife and a mom, and I wasn't a runner anymore. So like Arun said, 15 years went by and 70 pounds heavier, and then I found myself trying to figure out who I was and what I wanted to do with myself. So I started like you all doing a walk-run program, and at one point when I was very young, I was able to run a 5-minute mile, and when I started back, I couldn't even run a half mile without stopping. And it was very defeating, it was very difficult, but you just put one foot in front of the other and then you keep going. Being a part of a group is so important, and that's what I did first, is I found a group of runners that was very encouraging and inspiring, and I started running, and then everyone else encouraged me to do more. So I started with a 5K, and then it became a 10K, and then you say, well, I'm going to do a half marathon, and then you say, well, I'm halfway there, so I might as well do a marathon. And then you get even, I know, and then you get crazier, and then you do an ultra marathon. So I've actually run a 50-mile race as well, which sounds crazy, but it's actually easier than a marathon because you get to eat while you're running. So it's really fun. Running is not only like 3.5 years ago, I would not be able to be here to speak to you because running not only changed me physically, it also changed me mentally and emotionally. I'm a much stronger and much more confident runner because of running. And now I use that to go ahead and try to at least inspire one other person or encourage someone to run, because it does change your life. It is. And it's so social, and that's what right now running, like Arun said, I became a coach. I've been coaching children from 7 to 14. This will be my 7th season starting this spring. And then I also have started a run coaching business with a friend. So we coach up to, our oldest client is 63 years old. And so we try to tell people also, it's never too late to start. It's never too late to have a dream. I ran my first marathon. I said I always wanted to do one before I was 40, and I did that a couple years ago. This will be my number 6. I turned 40 this year in September. So I'll be on number 6. Thank you. I'll have number 6 before 40. So now I just try to get out there, tell people you can do it. I try to encourage others to reach and surpass goals that they never once thought possible. And being able to do it with a friend or a group of friends really makes such a difference. So that's what I really want to tell you all today. And nobody else needs to understand why you're doing this. It's your goal, and you should have your own why. So I always encourage my runners to to learn and realize, why are you running? Why are you here? And everyone's why is going to be a lot different. But when it's hard and you all are struggling out there, remember why. Remember your why and why you started. And if somebody tells you you're crazy, that's okay. That's on them. And they don't need to understand. When I ran a 50-miler, everybody looks at me crazy. They're like, why? I don't even want to drive 50 miles. But it gives you a sense of purpose. It gives you a sense of accomplishment. And running can be a lifelong sport. So it's something you can enjoy. I mean, there's 100-year-olds out there running. So I'm excited for you all. This is the first step in your journeys. And I'm excited to be a part of that for one day. So I thank you for having me. Like Arun said, this will be, and again, I just wanted to run one marathon. I never thought I would qualify for the Boston Marathon. But again, the group of runners that I was with went to Boston, and I was very jealous. So I thought, well, maybe I can do that. So runners are crazy, and they make you think crazy things. So I decided I would try for Boston, and my second marathon, I did qualify. So this will be my second year at Boston. Last year it was about 30 degrees with 30-mile winds and pouring down rain, and 100 people got taken off with hypothermia-related conditions. But I made it through, so I'm hoping this Boston is just like today would be perfect. It would be great. But I have learned so much about myself, and I really enjoy working with others to help them to figure out their whys and help them succeed as well. So I'll be here. I'm going to stay around with you guys if you have any questions. Like I said, I'm not a professional speaker. I just like to come out and share my story and tell you that it is possible to go from just walking to running 50 miles. And like I said, it was only 3.5 years ago that I was right here doing the same thing you all are.
So 3 years later, I should see you guys then doing the 50-miler, right?
That's right.
So I want you to ask questions. You have a lot of questions. Please ask. Whatever it is, there's no stupid question. Please.
Yeah, go ahead.
How do you build up your stamina to run?
Right where you're doing now with your walk running, it'll just gradually change into running faster and running slower. So you're doing different workouts with a different ratio. So right now when you start, you walk for 5 minutes, or we'll say you're walking for 5 minutes and running for 3 minutes, and then you'll make those walking periods slower or shorter, and then make the runs longer. Eventually you'll build up the stamina to run longer, and then you'll just change that into different intervals of running faster and running slower, which will help you get a little bit faster as well. But there's a variety. Thankfully you have a wonderfully certified coach that knows all about tempos and fartlicks and all types of fun things. I'm also a certified personal trainer and work in corporate fitness. And what I tell people is it's great if you go out every day. What a lot of runners do and are good at are just running every day, but they might just be running 3 miles a day at the same pace, which is still really good for your health. But if you have goals, it's not going to, you're not going to get somewhere. So you have to change and challenge your body. You have to run hill repeats. You've got to run some intervals. You've got to do tempo. Your body is very great at adapting, but it'll just stay at the same place. So if you change, you have to change the workouts every so often for your body to adapt to a new stress.
Exactly, that's just exactly correct.
Yes.
So your body needs to use to that stress. Slowly you build up the stress. So I think it will go away.
Yeah.
Once you build up. Yeah.
So what's your motivational factor for you to keep running?
What's my motivation? Oh, goodness. I have so
That's a good
much.
question.
It is a good question. I still don't know what I'm capable of, and that's why I continue to push myself into different areas. My new motto, and runners probably know this, if I have a goal that scares me so much, I know I have to do it. I need to do something that I feel like I might fail at, and that's what motivates me, because I want to know what I'm capable of, and I still don't know where my limit is. I have a almost 13, he's 12, I know she is 12, so I have a 12, 13-year-old son who also runs, so I always wanted to show him and let him know that anything really is possible. If any of you, people ask me all the time, and if any of you ask me, do you think I could run Boston someday? I would say yes. Don't ask me if anything's possible, because I truly believe that anything is possible. Is it easy? No, it's not going to be easy. It'll be worth it, but it is possible if you put in the work for it.
I think you pointed out the right one. You need to be the leader or something, look up for your kids.
Yes.
Okay, if you don't do it and then you ask them to do it, I don't think they will be listening to you.
Yes.
Because, hey, can you do it? They're going to ask you to do it, but because you're
Yeah.
doing it, probably the kids will look up.
And we all know we all have the same amount of hours in the day. We are, some of us are spouses, some of us are parents, we're employees, but you still need to find the time for you. I don't want to say find the time. You have to make the time for you because it's good for your body, it's good for your spirit, and it's good to be a role model for your children. They look up to you, and you're going to be a healthier individual. You're going to be more productive at work if you get out there. I run at 4:45 in the morning because I don't drink coffee. That's my coffee. I run. But that's how I start my day. And I find the days that I don't run in the morning, I'm just having a rough day those
Dragging
days.
around,
So.
yeah.
That's the time I have to make. I have to do it at 4:45 because after school and after work, I have a son and I need to get him and run him to practice and make dinner and help with homework. So you have to find what works for you. It's not easy getting up at 4:15 and it's dark and it's cold outside, but I have a group of friends that will meet me. So it does hold me accountable and I get it and nothing gets in my way. At the end of the day, you can find excuses. So find the time and you schedule doctor's appointments, you schedule meetings with people. That's your time that you're scheduling with yourself. It's no less important than a meeting with your boss. So don't skip it.
Never say tomorrow. I'll do it today. That should be your goal.
Well, and if you miss today, don't give up. There's tomorrow. Get back on it. It's okay. Any other questions? Sure.
Yeah. What other sport do you play? Or do you have a gym routine or something that you follow?
I was a boring runner always. Even as a youngster, I just ran all the time. But I do also, I take high-intensity interval classes. I teach those. So I do encourage strength training. Strength training is so important to not only help your performance, but to help with injury prevention as well. But I never played any other sport. I didn't like when people were running at me with basketball or soccer. I just want to run away from them.
So is it easy for you to wake up and run?
Is it easy?
Yeah.
No.
Does it ever become easier?
There are good days and they're not so good days. But when you have a good day, the bad days, you just remember. Like I had a very good run on Tuesday morning. I woke up, I felt wonderful. I ran a little bit too fast. And then Thursday I did not feel so good. But you have to take the good with the bad. So.
Do you have any restriction on the diet or anything like
Restrictions on diet?
speeds up the running?
I like that.
What was the end part?
Speeds up the running.
Speeds up the running. Your diet does play a lot into running. I actually was not watching my diet very much lately, but on Monday I started Boston is a month away. I should probably eat a little bit better. So I just try to eat less of the bad carbohydrates, so I don't eat a lot of the yummy stuff. So cakes and candy and all the sugary things. But I believe in all in moderation, so I don't feel like you should be completely strict. But yeah.
So you do change your diet for a gold race.
I try to be a little bit healthier. So we were talking about happy hour. So I definitely try not to have happy hour very much. But yes, I try to get rid of it. Sugar does have an inflammatory response in your body. And so I try to really cut down on sugar. You'll feel a lot better if you're not taking in all the white sugar. I believe in balance. And we've all been kind of taught some incorrect things about carbs being bad or fat being bad, but there's good fats and there's bad fats and there's good carbs and there's bad carbs. So you need to, avocados are a great high fat. So I try to have a nice balance between those. I still do eat pasta the night before, so I don't eat a lot of carbs, but I'm still a believer in going and getting a good spaghetti dinner the night before a big race. Good question, though. A lot of people do ask me, what do I eat before I race? That's a big question. And
the day of the race.
The day of the race, yes. So generally I eat 2 hours before race start time. My favorite breakfast, I eat a piece of toast with peanut butter and bananas on it. And that is 2 hours before the race. And then up until then, it's just water after that. Once you get into marathons and half marathons and ultras, then it's a lot different. Then you have to plan to fuel. Any other questions? Yes?
There's a good consistency. Question comes from, my lack of discipline. More like, I do a lot of things throughout the year. I run bike, do hike and stuff. So, but like I'll go for like 2 months without doing anything. Then I'll be like all out for like 3 months. So I think I end the year not better than the beginning of the year. Overall, I feel like I'm getting.
Sounds like the sun.
So any way to get consistent?
To get consistent, I really do believe in programs like this or finding a partner. I find that when you have someone that can hold you accountable, and that's why the morning runs. If I was to run by myself at 4:45 in the morning, I'm not sure. I mean, I love running, but that's hard. So having someone that's going to hold you accountable is a big help. Also, if signing up for an event is helpful. So if you sign up for a race, then you have to train for it. So having some sort of, and it's going to be different for everyone. Some people just don't really like running with other people, so that may not work. But usually, if you have the accountability factor, whether it's with a friend or a group or through a race, that will be helpful. Or put some things on your calendar that you're just going to know, all right, well, I need to get out there. But it's okay. Hiking is great, and hiking does help with your running as well.
They went to base camp last year, Everest base camp.
Oh, wow. Wonderful.
I do things in like a spurt, then I don't do anything for a long time.
So then if you compare with somebody else, right, let's say that you run with Uma all the time, and then you see her progressing every year because she's consistent, then that will motivate you to come back, okay, I got to be consistent to be keeping up with her. Because for my son, right, he does the same thing. Every year, cross country, beginning of the year, he'll be like one of the slowest people. Towards the end of the season, he'll be making varsity, he'll be making the top 5 or top 10 in the school. Then I keep telling him, see here, all those people are doing 3 times a year. They do indoor track, they do outdoor track. You cannot just stop running after the cross country season is over and expect you to be at the same level when you get back into cross country the next year. So I keep trying to make himself accountable by say, okay, log your runs. See how many runs you do per week. Do you do 20 to 30 miles per week? That's what I give him a goal for. Even though he doesn't do it, but he gets the point. So when you usually always say that you don't want to compare yourself to somebody else, but if you have somebody to go with, or if you have an accountability partner, then it helps you a lot to see that, okay, I shouldn't go back, I should always move forward. So that gives you.
Second Arun's thing, right? So we used to do only weekends in the winter time. Now I have a partner who runs on the midweeks, right? We have a commitment.
Smiling.
Commitment, actually. It's because like I commit that I'll come on Tuesday and Thursday, and we don't even text. We'll be there at 6 o'clock. Tuesday, we don't even text in between. We will be there because we want to be there. Okay, that commitment. Earlier, what we do, only Saturdays we run, and we think that we are going to run 2 or 3 days in the gym. That never happens because you're going to go alone, and also running inside.
Treadmill. It's the treadmill.
Never happens. So come outside. I think find a partner or just make a commitment. I will run on this day. People will show up to help you or run with you. They want to come out too.
What is that baseball movie? Kevin Costner. You build it there.
Oh, they will come?
Yeah.
The Field of Dreams, yes.
Yeah, Field of Dreams. It's like that. You show up and they'll come. Yeah. So consistency, showing up.
Well, my motivation would be if when you restart, it's really hard. So don't stop. Just,
That's
like,
a good one.
yeah. If you keep like stopping, then you have to get back into it. It's hard to get back in there, but if you just keep going, then it's going to be much easier. Yeah. Anything else?
How about sleep?
Sleep is so important. Since I'm up at 4:15, I'm in bed at 9:30. Sleep is so important. Yes, get some
How do you
sleep.
turn off your TV or how do you turn off your iPhone? And
Because I'm tired.
I sleep
My
in front
s-
of them sometimes, so
Oh, yeah.
I might as well go to the bed and sleep.
My son goes to bed at 9, so I just head up right after him. I'm not a big TV watcher, so I guess it's helpful. But yeah, I do shut the phone off. No more Facebook, Instagram, all of that. Anything else before you guys can go get a little warmer?
She's on Facebook too, so I follow her on Facebook. A lot of times I get inspiration from what she posts in there. I posted a couple of things that she posted, so you can follow her on Facebook also. You want to tell what your Facebook?
Sure. I'll leave you. I was say I think I might have some business cards, but I don't have them with that. When I started running again, well, the reason I started my blog was I had a lot of people messaging me questions like all of you, especially women. So I thought, well, I might just put this out there though, because people keep asking me the same questions. So I started a blog, and I couldn't think of a name. So I felt like running was a renaissance for me. So I made my name Runaissance, so R-U-N, instead of in the rest of the Renaissance, RunaissanceMom. So it's facebook.com/RunaissanceMom, Instagram RunaissanceMom, and then RunaissanceMom.com is where my blog is. But I basically share my story. I've learned social media can be very fake. And so I've put out a lot of realness. I've been vulnerable and put a lot of scary stuff out there for all of you to read. Because I want people to know that life isn't easy, and it's very difficult. So I've shared when I failed. I've shared the not so great stories of myself, because we've all been there, and we all can get through there. And I feel like sharing your story helps somebody else that might be going through the same type of thing. So you can find me, on Renaissance Mom. All right. And I thank you all for coming to hear me speak. Like I said, I'm just like you. I'm no celebrity.
You are a celebrity for us.
But I put it out there to hopefully inspire
Anybody
somebody
running
else.
Boston is a celebrity for us.
Yeah.
And thanks for coming by.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.